Hey everybody, it's Ryan with West Coast Stamp Company and stampcollectors.us. Today I'm going to talk about the stamp values tool on our website and how to use it. I created this tool to allow stamp collectors to look up additional information that can affect a stamp's value. For example, faults like thins or short perfs can reduce the value of a stamp, while nicely struck cancels or lightly hinged gum can increase the value. This tool isn't meant to replace the other value systems that are out there. It's just meant to provide another resource for your stamp collecting research. The values in the database are from actual sales in my Facebook group, US Stamp Shop. There are currently over 4,000 sales records across almost 550 unique Scott numbers. With 75 new sales every week, our database is growing. I also plan on adding the data from the Stamp Collectors Marketplace once it launches, where you'll be able to buy and sell stamps with less fees than some of the other marketplaces. I'm hoping to launch that soon, so keep an eye out for it. Just to note, not every Scott number is in the database yet. Once you enter or submit a Scott number into the form field, the table will show the results below. If you want to search for a range, go ahead and just put a dash in between the Scott numbers. To search for Confederate issues, put the prefix CSA with no spaces after it. For example, CSA 4. For Canal Zone, use the prefix CZ, and for Hawaii, use the prefix HI. We're constantly updating the database, so we may have some of the other United States possessions like Puerto Rico or Cuba at a later date. For right now, we only have values for United States stamps. So when you're entering in a Scott number, it's assumed that it'll be a US stamp. If you want to go look at our full list of Scott numbers available, go ahead and click this button here. Once you're on this page, go ahead and scroll down to the available Scott stamp values and expand the table, and you'll see a list of all of the Scott numbers that we currently have available. Clicking on one will open up a new tab and provide you with the results for that stamp. If you choose a stamp that has a lot of sales data, then you might want to use the filters below to help narrow the results and give you a more accurate fair market value. And you should only go off the fair market value when using filters, because it's not very accurate if you have a mixture of used, unused stamps, stamps with faults, stamps that are sound. All of those jumbled in there are going to give you not accurate fair market value. So use the filters to try and narrow down those results to give you a much more accurate value based on the condition and the soundness of the stamp that you're looking up. Simply scroll down to below the table and set the different conditions to what you'd like to get a fair market value for. For example, you might say, show me all that are used in a grade of fine with no faults. Go ahead and click View Updated Values, and the table above will now show you only the stamps that fit that criteria with a new estimated fair market value. If there aren't that many results for a certain stamp, then you might have to just look line item by line item at each one to see if there's one that fits the same condition and soundness that you're looking for. Let's take a look at the results and see what each of these columns mean. First, you have the image. The image is clickable. To see a larger image, simply click on it. You can also view the original post of where this stamp was sold. If you're not a member already, you'll need to join the US Stamp Shop Facebook group in order to see the original posts for the stamp. They contain more information like the particular fault that it might have had. Next is the sale date. This is the date that the stamp was sold. The next column is the type. The type will let you know the multiple of the stamp. For example, a single versus a pair versus a line pair versus a block. The condition will let you know whether or not a stamp has been used or unused, or on cover. A stamp without gum or regumming will be considered an unused stamp, whereas a mint stamp will be a stamp that has original gum. The next column has the gum condition. If a stamp is used, it won't have any gum, so it will say none. Otherwise, if it's mint, it will let you know if it's never been hinged, if it's been lightly hinged, or hinged. The cancel column will let you know what type of cancel it has, such as a basic, color, premium, or pen cancel. The cancel strength column will let you know the intensity of that cancel. Is it normal cancel, light, heavy, or even sock on the nose? The grade will let you know how well centered the stamp is. The next column is a cert. It will let you know if it has a certificate of authenticity. And the column next to that will let you know if that cert is graded or not. If the cert is graded, then all you need to do to find out what the grade is of that cert is to look back at the grade column. Very fine would mean that the cert was graded 80, extremely fine would mean that it was graded 90, and so on. The next column is a very important one. This is the faults column, and it will let you know if the stamp is assumed to be sound, if it has minor faults, moderate, or major faults. To see what each of the fault types mean, go ahead and scroll up and click into the fault explanations. Here it will show you what each of the types of faults mean. For example, minor faults may have a small, faint, or pressed out crease, whereas moderate faults may have more than 3 or 4 short perfs, and major faults might be reperforations on more than one side. If you need a reminder of what all of these columns mean, go ahead and just scroll up and click on attribute definitions. This will remind you what all the different types of cancels mean, condition, cancel strength, gum, and grade. If you have any trouble with the tool, just scroll all the way down to the bottom of the website, click on Get Help, and we'd be happy to assist. There's also a little link to report bugs in case you come across any broken images or stamps that are under the wrong Scott number. Also, keep a lookout for this little link above the search results. Some of the issues will have this link on there, which takes you to our dedicated page where you'll find a lot more information about the stamp, including things like specs, history, color varieties, and more. And finally, if you wish to add to the Stamp Collector's database of sales records, you can click this button to submit your own stamp by filling out the required information. Hopefully you'll find this tool as a valuable resource in your research in buying and selling stamps.